statement. Start with Zach.
All right. Okay, good win Saturday. Hard-fought game against a good football team. Was really proud of the way we overcame sort of the adversities of the game, so to speak. Offense, turned it over 3 times in the first half, and defense responded every time. And then the offense throughout the game responded to Maryland scores. Like to finish the game a hair better. Thought we really could have made a statement at the end, but it's a good win. Northwestern, a very tough challenge. This will be the best defensive team we've played. We're really extremely well coached, in the right places. They know what they're doing. Make you earn your points. They're not going to lose the game. You're going to have to win it. Offensively, struggling a little bit to get their rhythm going. Quarterback position's been a little inconsistent for them, but have some dynamic guys. Kickoff return guy, 96-yarder against Washington, plays some running back too. So looking forward to having a good week in preparation for this, next game.
Zach, can we go to Ms.?
You talked Saturday and then again today about overcoming adversity. In your experience, how does that manifest itself when a team maybe does have to grapple with some of those difficult moments for the first time and see itself come through? Defense pulls the offense up, offense pulls the defense up. When you come out the other side of it, What does it look like? How do you see it?
Well, to me, that's part of coaching is you're sending those messages in spring football practice, fall training camp. How are we going to respond when this happens, that happens? It's the way we play the game, never too high, never too low. So, you're not emotional about the circumstances of the football game. You're focused, on the here and now and what's your job and keeping your poise and composure. And, when you get 11 guys doing their job consistently, that can happen.
Liaison, you left and Todd.
Going into the season, you kind of talked about some of the things that you thought would be strengths: wide receiver, running back, defensive line. But is there anything that you've kind of seen through the first 5 weeks that maybe has surprised you in terms of a position or even a player, just that is that something that maybe you didn't anticipate before the season?
I mean, I don't really look at it like that. To me, all the areas have to improve because you do get better or you get worse. I think we've played fairly consistently for the most part in all 3 phases, but definite improvements that can be made. And, with every success comes belief. And this is a team that's a little bit on a mission. And Northwestern's the next one up.
Todd in front and Jeff.
Curt, in talking to the players over the course of the season, it's pretty clear that they embody the message that you want them to embody in terms of buy-in and in terms of what your kind of vision for the program is. When you're recruiting players and once you have them too, how do you kind of build that? How do you kind of see that kind of vision of buy-in? How do you try to recruit that? How do you try to build it once they actually
Well, it's all
get
about the people, you hire and recruit. So in recruiting, talent's important, but character is equally important. So, and I sit down with all of them in my office, and because you want people that can kind of buy into the team concept, understand commitment and discipline, hard work, that are moldable, and not necessarily totally self-centered type people. So it's all about people.
Jack and Zach B.
Yeah, Curt, the way the defensive line was able to get some pressure, and I guess also the offensive line in the run game and protection, was that sort of reassuring for you to see from both lines against a Big Ten opponent, like compared to the first 3 non-conference games?
Well, I thought our defensive line needed to have a big win in this game because it's one of our strengths going up against one of their weaknesses, and I felt like they did. We put really good pressure on the quarterback, and I was glad to see that. So, and the offensive line, I think, has done a nice job game in, game out, and I think certainly you could see early in the second half the push we were getting in the run game.
Zach B in front and Seth.
After Curtis's early interceptions on Saturday, you said that he responded exactly how you thought he would. What he saw on his Ohio tape that made you understand and realize that he would respond that way?
I think it was just more being around him since he's been with us in the spring. He doesn't really seem to get fazed by a whole lot of stuff, and he's on to the next play. So, those turnovers were avoidable. Sometimes you got to cut your losses, but I never had any kind, nor did anybody on the staff have any kind of doubt that he wouldn't bounce right back, which he did.
Step in front of Daniel.
Yeah, Omar Cooper has made a few big plays, obviously on Saturday. Just what's, obviously the wide receiver room is pretty crowded. What's allowing him to kind of stand out so much in that room?
Well, his big thing is day in, day out consistency because he has talent. I really like him a lot, and he's an explosive player with good ball skills that has just improved from spring to fall camp throughout the season, and that's why we're putting him in position to make the plays. And he made a couple big ones on Saturday, a couple nice throws, contested catches. So like him a lot.
Daniel on your left and Ken.
Yeah, your resume is what it is as far as winning. Is there a shared trait you kind of look back on and say, like, all of the teams that we've had that are good have this trait?
Well, yeah. I mean, you got a blueprint and a plan, and you're creating a culture and an identity and a team mindset. We want to be a tough, physical, relentless competitor. That plays really hard, one play at a time, smart, disciplined, and poised. Never too high, never too low. And that's how all the teams have played, and that's how we're trying to get this team to play.
Ken up top and Joe.
Your offensive and defensive lines on both sides of the ball have done a really good job of controlling that line of scrimmage. It's been a big part of your success. How do you get them to continue to keep that up and build on that as the weeks move on?
I mean, it's all, to me, the same. Today's got to be a great day of preparation, mental and physical preparation for the opponent coming up. And, you stack good days. And hope you can keep your people healthy, right? Because that's a big part of it, too. We're deeper in some areas than others. And you keep improving.
Joe on your right and Miz.
You've mentioned the margin of error once the season starts. What part of this team have you seen from fall camp that's taken the biggest strides in shortening that margin?
I think just in our mindset and how we approach the game, and some of the questions were directed to overcoming adversity or the highs and lows of the game, is this team has sort of absorbed that message and tried to apply it where they're not overly affected by success or failure.
Miz and then Omi.
With Miles Price, how did he get on your radar initially, and then what have you kind of thought of his season, from special teams and receiver?
Yeah, he's a really good player. He's a great teammate, too, has a lot of positive energy. Derek Owings knew him from his time at Texas Tech. Derek had been at Texas Tech. And, we liked what we saw on his tape and in our conversations with him. I think he's done a tremendous job.
When you got the job, did you kind of seek out those connections for transfers, or do those guys offer them, or say this is a guy that maybe stand out?
Well, I mean, the guys are in the portal. You evaluate the tape, and I think Derek came to me. This is a guy we ought to look at real hard. He's a great teammate. He's great for the locker room, which he is. Yeah.
Omi on your right and Jim.
Hi, Coach. We talked about the offensive line a number of times. I was just wondering, specifically with Coach Bostad's approach, what do you kind of like about his approach developing that group, and how have they kind of, owned his teaching the last few weeks?
Yeah. Well, Bob's a really good football coach. He's a fundamentalist. He's tough. He's hard-nosed. His guys embody that, kind of a blue-collar work ethic. And, he makes them tough and physical, and he coaches them that way every single day. So, and I see it show up on Saturday.
Jim on your left and Daniel.
Curt, on Saturday, you guys had 3 turnovers in the first half, which was unaccustomary for this team, but the defense responded time after time. What does that do for this defense going forward, and what does that show you going forward for them?
Well, yeah, I was really pleased to see that, right? It gave us an opportunity to be successful. And, I'm not surprised by it because I think we have a good defense, a very capable defense. So I wish we didn't turn the ball over like we did, but sometimes, you're going to have things throughout the season, and it was great to see them do that. And again, I just think every win builds team confidence.
Yeah, with Elijah, obviously you had him last year. I think he had 7 for 128 last week. Just what makes him who he is, in your opinion?
He loves ball. He's very competitive. He's got good talent. He's got great ball skills. He's really good at contested catches. And, he's always up. He's got a great personality, and, he's eager to practice, eager to play, and loves ball.
Were you aware of the Waffle House name that he has?
I heard that he had created that name. I can't attest to the validity of Waffle House always being open. But even when he's not, he'll find a way to come down with the ball.
Coach, my name's Rich. I'm with Channel 13, NBC out of Indianapolis. I'm here because this team is now attracting attention. I did sports for 20-some years, but now I'm a news reporter, and this is becoming a news story, what this team is doing. Sorry for the long question. I don't like long questions. I'll get to my point. Are you surprised at all by what this team has done? What should be your team's reaction to their success so far? What should be the fan and student reaction to what you guys have accomplished so far?
I'm not surprised. I pretty much told everybody when I got hired that this is what was possible, and I felt strongly about that after we brought the 22 transfers in December and added a few more at the end of spring ball, and saw the culture come together the way it did. But we had to put it on the field. So I knew it was possible because, I'd kind of been a part of something like this before. And I think people are getting excited, which is a natural part of that process too. When you win, right, the stadium fills up more, it gets louder, and the team understands how fragile success can be and how important preparation is on a daily basis. And I'm confident we'll handle today and this week the way we need to.
All right, thanks, Coach.
Thank you.